Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Find You Fridays. It's me, Lorene, and I hope you're having a fabulous day. Oh, goodness. It is Friday, the 17th of October. Oh, my gosh. We are like 2 and a little teeny tiny bit months, 2 months and 1 week away from Christmas. Yay! Oh gosh, imagine that. So close. So close. I don't even know if I have to prepare for anybody this year, which is kind of nice in some ways. You know, maybe I just have to prepare for myself. Who knows? Good evening, Melinda. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. And we're drinking chai tonight. T2 chai, to be precise. So I've continued on with my Sophia Code journey. And I actually have a little something that I wish to read out to you guys from that. But I'm going to wait just a little bit for a few more people to come on. Mind you, with the whole daylight savings thing, I think people have probably been thrown out a bit again. I know I was. It's like all of a sudden it's nearly 7 o'clock and I'm like, what? No, because it was still bright and daylight and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, daylight savings. Go figure. How did you spend your Friday, your week? I'm curious. Let's see. Read cards for the weekly reading, please. Dun, 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 dun. So we have the lovely new moon coming up. Oh, Melinda. Now, you wanted me to remind you when it was time to start thinking about, not thinking, but doing, planting your seeds and stuff. So anytime after the 21st, 22nd. So anytime after the 22nd through to the next full moon is a good time to plant. So, and that's a great reminder to me too. So not this weekend, but next weekend, I'm going to plant my seedlings out. That will be good because they'll be about ready by then, I reckon. My sunflowers are really taking off. They've got second leaves coming through already, and they're looking great. I don't know if you can see a picture. Let me see. Don't know if I'll be able to show you, but this is what yesterday, I think, and might be too hard for you to see. Here we go. You can just see there. So yeah, they're looking really good, and these leaves are now even bigger than they were yesterday. Aren't they amazing? Good old sunflowers. So yeah, the 22nd being Wednesday this coming week. So any time from like next weekend or Wednesday onwards, it's a good time to plant. Never thought I'd be giving gardening advice. Moon gardening advice. Ooh, so we should probably have a look and see what moon we've got coming up too, shouldn't we? That's a good idea. So the 21st of October. Let's have a look. October is for us the egg moon, the fish moon, the seed moon, pink moon, or waking moon. That's what it is for the southern hemisphere, which is the equivalent of their April. So let's have a quick look back at April. Alrighty, so which is indeed the full moon in Libra, according to this. The symbol of Libra is the scales of justice, and thanks to the influence of Libra on this full moon, there'll be a strong desire for balance and harmony. In order to not rock the boat, there'll be an overwhelming need for things to be nice. This means that questions that would normally be asked will go unasked. This is a time to learn to share feelings, both good and bad. Despite what might be expected by others, it's important to have confidence to be authentic. And I can absolutely agree with that all of those sorts of energies and things are up currently in my world of speaking authentically, being yourself, connecting. So that's really cool. Let's shake up these cards for the 18th through to the 24th of October. It's funny when you start doing like extra upgrading or doing things, and it's almost like this. It's a divine timing thing about it, you know. So the bit from the Sophia Code that I would like to talk to you about in a little bit is all about using your voice and looking at the anatomy of the throat chakra and things like that. And it's just like, wow, super cool. Super, super cool. What you got going on for the weekend, my darlings? I'd love to know. Which reminds me there's something else I need to find in my phone. Oh, short, quick, and sweet. All right. So this week to come, we of course have this lovely new moon energies on Tuesday. And we have a shift in star signs as well. Our sun signs are going from Libra to Scorpio this week coming. And there is a whole bunch of other things going on. Like there's what was it? There's a retrograde in there, but it's not of our normal ones. It might be Pluto maybe. Don't quote me on that one. I can't remember. But anyway, I don't feel like it's going to be quite high tomorrow. I don't feel like it's going to be quite so much of a heavy week this week, which will be nice. I think everybody deserves a little break after, or a little rest after having so many big like shifts of energy and forcing forwards and just like being super like accountable and uncomfortable with these changes for a lot of people. So it'll be great to have just a little bit more of a moment for this week. So let's have a look at these cards for the week to come. We've got Two Guys as our first card for the week, which is Awaken Your Empathy. Now, interestingly enough, it's a beautiful shade of blue. And of course, we know that the throat chakra is blue. So don't be surprised if you feel yourself using your voice a little bit more or a little bit differently this week. You might find that the way you use your voice will come out a little bit more authentically, and whether or not it upsets people, but that's where your empathy comes in, right? So that you know how to word things so that you can put things into a way that people will actually be able to receive that. So enjoy. Brown is establishing boundaries this week. So for my fellow recovering people pleasers, I have some information about that too for you. Establishing boundaries is one of the key parts about being so aware of other people and entities, like other people's emotional states. And when you start creating boundaries, that's when you actually give you the gift of space back. So don't be surprised if this comes up, and it may also pop up in a way of people crossing your boundaries to make you go, oh, actually, no, that's enough of that. Thank you very much. So you might find yourself having to use your voice again to actually put some like a boundary in place, which then lets someone know that that's not okay anymore. Okay, so there we go, establishing boundaries. Now, because you're going to be giving yourself some space this week to enjoy life, we have Amber, which is about awakening your creativity. So these lovely new moon energies are going to open up that space within you where you're going, oh, yeah, that. Oh, I think I'd like to start working on that. And, oh, yeah, there's a project that's been on the back of my mind for a little bit. I think I'll start working on that now. So that's what this week has to come, which is really lovely. I'm really looking forward to this week. I think it's a short and simple, sweet and simple card reading. Melinda says, working on Sunday, tomorrow a day of potting up outside plants, I think. Oh, that sounds great. How are you doing, Tamara? How's your week been treating you? I see you've been up doing your readings and stuff a little bit more, which is fabulous. Love it. We've got some more healing this week. But I do get the sense that the healing that we're going to be doing this week is a little bit more gentle. And the healing and establishing the boundaries, grounding, the healing of diving into creative projects, that's going to be just so lovely to have this week. So, yay! What a cool week to come. So, fellow recovering people pleasers, I had an interesting awareness pop through into my mind yesterday, actually. Sorry, having an OCD moment. I see some of my cards in this deck are upside down. I'm not liking it. Oh, good. And so, yes. Oh, shite. One just went on the floor. Oh, well. Maybe you don't have to use those cards again today. That's okay, Tamara. You just keep driving. Be safe. So, recovering people pleasers. When you're a people pleaser, you have this incredible ability to be very aware of other people's emotional states and their thoughts. So because And how can I say that? Because a people pleaser is all about creating peace and creating and being able to preempt higher energies, like particularly anger and things like that. Now, how the hell do we do that? We do that by having awareness of other people's energies, other people's emotions, and other people's thoughts, i.e., telepathy. So, people who are people pleasers, highly empathic people, it's such a beautiful skill. However, it has been used, abused, misidentified, and misapplied many times over. And how do I know that? Because the people who are not the people pleasers know that generally within family structures and things like that, they know that there is the people pleaser in the group that they can control and manipulate. Whether they do this consciously or not, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, right? So this is where they go, I know how to just get what I want out of that person, and I know how to make it so that it's they'll do whatever I want them to do. So what I would like what I would like to bring to you as a concept is, if you are like me and you are a recovering people pleaser, highly empathic, you actually just really wish to create an environment where it's peaceful and it's easy and it's like, oh, that just feels so good, and it's like you're not having to walk on eggshells and things like that. Please know that you have a highly developed sense of telepathy, and as such, you can use that to your advantage if you are consciously aware of it. So instead of just going, oh, I'm a people pleaser and that's all it is. No, it's not that you're a people pleaser. You've got a highly developed sense of telepathy, of receiving telepathic thoughts and emotions. So you can use that to your advantage, the collective's advantage, to know how to approach someone. If you're doing it from a conscious space, you can know, if you're in customer service, for example, you can know how to work with them, because you can tune in before anybody's even said a word. You can tune into their emotional state and go, that's where they're at right now. Okay, I will change my sales pitch to read like this, for example, if you're in customer service. If for me, yes, I'm in customer service, but I'm not really selling anything necessarily, but I'm there to interact with people. If I come into somebody's home and I can feel from them, and it's happening before I even get into the house these days, so that's a whole other thing. But if I can feel that they've had a really rough night, they're emotionally drained, so therefore they're tired, they might be a little bit cranky, they might be feeling a little bit short-tempered, which is kind of cranky, they might even be feeling a bit sad or grieving, depending on which way it goes. I can then come in and turn up my happy. But if somebody is really on edge, I can turn down the happy slightly, just slightly, and approach them from that space of compassion, right? If they've had particularly bad news or something and they're feeling really, really sad, I can wind up my compassion side rather than just the happy side. Because when somebody's really super sad, the last thing they want is somebody going, hi, how's it going? Hope you're having a fabulous day. And you can slowly work it around, right? Because that's the other thing about being telepathic, is that you're then able to see those energies, use those energies, and work them forward and move those energies with them. so that they can be that beautiful space. When you walk away from them, they can go, oh, I feel so much better now. So that's using your God-given talents to create magic in other people's lives. Rather than just going, oh, I'm a people pleaser, and seeing it as a bad thing. What if it's not a bad thing? What if it's an incredible skill? And the more that we move into the higher dimensions, particularly beyond fifth dimension, we're all in training for that now, right? That's where the people, like these beautiful energies. Hi, Brian. I've been here every Friday night, so I'm always here. So as we move beyond those other dimensions, like the fifth, sixth, seventh, blah, 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 we're going to lose language. We're going to return to speaking in energy. So the spoken word will disappear because it will no longer be necessary, because we will all be telepathically communicating with each other. And so that's why we are relearning these skills now. But as I said, it's been misapplied, misidentified, used and abused over the years, over the lifetimes, for control of other people. Have used that as a way to control us. And in a weird, wacky way, some of us, when we've dived into our people pleasing, have also used it as a control mechanism to make our lives a little bit easier. I know I used to. I don't like it when people are angry and arguing around me, so I'll try my best to keep everybody calm. And the use and abuse side of that comes in that I was then somebody who would then be expected to do a lot of things for my family or those around me that wouldn't have happened if I had set those boundaries and gone, actually, no, that doesn't fly, mister. Hi, Tamara, I'm glad you're back. So yeah, just when you have these beautiful skills, and particularly ones that are to do with sensing energies, please know that they are wonderful gifts. Okay? Some people have just the most incredible gift with gardening. They just know what to do, when to do, how to do. And they find it really difficult to explain how they know, because it's just natural to them. They're sensing the energies. They've got the communion with Earth in a way that some of us don't. Me, I just kind of take a stab in the dark and hope it works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, excellent. And there was one other thing. Oh yes, the Sophia code. I'll come back to the Sophia code in a moment. So yeah. Beautiful. Lots of focus on the nervous system regulation. Tamara's had a great week, and she did just do some live readings. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, live readings are fabulous, aren't they? They're so good. I really do enjoy doing them. All right, so looking at other information. So those of you who do not know this incredible book, the Sophia Code, this is what is the basis of my latest upgrade. It is a book not for the faint of heart. And I am very grateful that it is coming back into my world. It is rocking and rolling some different stuff in my head, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. Excuse me. All right, we're moving energies. Lovely. Excuse me, that was a big sneeze. I haven't sneezed ages. So last week I worked with Isis, and this week I've been working with Hathor. And it's Hathor is the one of 1,000 voices. Okay, so I'll read this first little bit to you. She of 1,000 voices. True intimacy leads to joy. In the covenant of the Sophia Code, joy is an essential quality of your divine inheritance. I'm here to guide you in how your body is the ultimate vehicle for communing in electrostatic bliss with your multidimensional self. So I got to and actually read aloud to my new friend today this entire chapter, and then we got to and integrated it. So I listened to this on Tuesday as I was driving, and that was kind of a fun experience listening to this while I was driving, because it's like it's hi Lisa. It's diving into stuff around the DNA strands and acknowledging certain things about them and activating them, and it's just like, wow. And there was lots of moments within this chapter where it was just like, wow, that reminds me blah blah blah, and this reminds me blah blah blah, and we had great conversations as we were coming along. In a lot of ways, I kind of wish I was doing this in a book club sense, but I love that I'm taking this journey sort of solo at the moment. Who knows? Maybe you guys would like to do a book club with me after I finish doing it. It's then been refreshed in my brains. So what I would like to bring to you today is this little section on the electron is the first vehicle of your embodiment. So quantum awareness begins within the atom, and it is here you can now direct your awareness to the electron. An elementary quantum particle traveling at the speed of light, a single electron acts as a wave function of infinitely complex energy fields capable of existing in every direction and dimension simultaneously. The electron's spin of angular momentum magnetizes the majority of an atom's mass in protons and neutrons. Inside the atomic universe, it is the electron that animates the mass of your human body, as directed by your higher self. It is also the same electron that is intimately involved in constructing and maintaining your many forms and parallel realities. Therefore, the electron can be understood as the access point for your awareness to directly interact with all your simultaneous lifetimes. Traveling at the speed of light, the electron is also an access point to every probable future and instantaneously maps these innumerable outcomes. It is aware of both infinite roots and outcomes resulting from every option that your awareness may choose to live as an experience or created reality, because it exists within all these probabilities. These quantum characteristics of the electrons in your body are both a pure reflection and frontline manifestation, revealing your divinity within form. As your omniscient oversoul emerges from the black womb of the no thing to encode itself into the light realms, an astronomical number of electrons participate in making this transfer of empty space into form possible. So the reason why I am bringing this to your attention is what that little piece there is talking about is your cell, your electron within your cell knows every single possible outcome, not only in this lifetime, all your lifetimes. It is the access point for every single possible lifetime, above, below. If we've listened to any Nostradamus or anything like that, like Dolores Cannon's conversation with Nostradamus, they teach us there that time is not linear, it is circular, right? It's going in a big spiral. And so we are, and this is what also she talks about in here in that chapter with Hathor, being that we are simultaneously living all of our lifetimes all at once, which is why this lifetime right now, and this is what I've been saying for years, this lifetime right now is so important, because we are doing the healing work, not only for us now and the collective, because of course every time we do healing work for us, it ripples out, radiates out around our communities to all the people we're connected to through blood or interaction or whatever. Every person that we have a relationship with, all of that is happening in this lifetime, but we're also traveling through all of our other lifetimes, which is why how we speak, what we say, how we say it, how we refer to it, how what we think about ourselves, about the people around us, it's all so important to be really, really honoring and be impeccable with our word. We'll go back to our 4 agreements up here, right? And the other really cool part about that little passage there that really struck out to me, that was like, I've got to tell you all about this, is that you don't have to go to anybody else necessarily to tap into your lifetimes. You have to be willing to do it for yourself, within yourself, and actually acknowledge that you have that information within you. The other cool part that came out of just that one little snippet was that made me go, oh, that's why the body pendulum stuff works. Because if you've ever used your body like a pendulum, and for those of you who don't know, it's where the best way to do it, the ideal practice, is to make sure you've got some water, like you've had a drink of water, so you're hydrated. You stand facing north, and you close your eyes, you relax your body, and you ask your body to show you its yes, and generally it'll go forward. And then you ask your body to show you its no, and generally it will go backwards. Now, if you're disconnected, if you're not within embodying your body, you might get some other things happening. You might get them reversed. I have tested this out by facing south, and sometimes that can affect which way your body will swing. Sometimes I've only once or maybe twice come across people who will go side to side instead. I just roll with it, because then I know that from a healing perspective, I have to do the body connection tool with them and stuff like that, because their flows are a little bit blocked or not there at all, or whatever's going on for them. So it's actually a really good tool for me to, as a healer, facilitator person, to know where people are at within their body. But if your cell, if your electron knows every possible outcome, every single possible outcome, and your body says yes, that particular thing is going to create more, that means that it literally has already identified every single possible thing that could happen, and goes, in the majority of all of those options, yeah, it's really positive. It's going to create more for you to go and do that thing, whatever that is. And I'm just like, that makes a lot of sense, because I could not really understand why the body pendulum worked. I just trust that it did. I didn't know why it did, and now I do. And it's because my very electrons, not even just the cells, but the electrons themselves, are tuning in not only on this lifetime, all the lifetimes. And so it's taking all of that into account when we use our body like a pendulum. How fucking cool is that? I was just like, wow. That would be lovely, Tamara. I would love to do a book club especially with the Sophia Code. I know that Kaira does have a specific training that she does do with her work. I think even the fact that we have the ability to have this book in our hot little hands without going through a specific course means that we'd be able to come together and share a lot of brilliant awakenings, awarenesses, and things like that. So, like, they don't mention the body pendulum stuff in there at all, from what I know. Not in that chapter anyway. But yeah, talking that particular chapter, it's about the voice, it's about the throat chakra, it's about DNA code awakenings, just full on. So yeah, it is amazing, Lisa. I love it when I can sort of put different concepts together and go, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? So your body is way more aware than you give it credit for. Just saying. Okay, Melinda, would you like to put a question in the chat, please? I will do your reading for you now. That would be amazing. Chai tea tonight, my friends. Brian. Oh, goodness, that went down the wrong tube. Brian, I have been staying away from Facebook and the cards, but certain card decks have been coming forward to me in my night sleep. Interesting. I have a funny feeling you can never stay away from the cards. And I have a funny feeling it's because you have a divine gift of sharing knowledge and sharing your awarenesses and sharing what is resonating for the collective at the moment from a masculine perspective. And that is part of why it's been so hard for you to give that up. And when you do try to give it up, it's like it keeps coming back and the cards won't sell and things like that. It's because your gift of being a masculine in this world is actually quite special. As you know, there are so many women in this sphere, in this space. So many. You go to any women psychic fair, you go to any energy workshop, you go to anything, like, women are the highest percentage of attendees. And I'm just like, I value the male perspectives out there, the males who have the courage to speak up, especially here in Western culture where it's not that common for a guy to be woo-woo. Having the courage to just be your woo-woo self, even though the rest of the culture is just like, fuck me, you can, all the judgmental stuff that comes through, right? So yeah, just know that there's a reason why you keep being drawn back in, even in your sleep, even when you're trying to go, no, I'm resisting and reacting to that. No, not going to do it. I can honestly tell you that I think I spoke to you guys last week about this. I am an energy healer, right? You guys know this. This is why I'm here, right? I'm a energy communicator, healer, But in my 9 to 5, I was like, because I'm a specialist cleaner, right? And so I was like going, no, from Monday to Thursday, I'm a specialist cleaner. I'm not a healer in that time. And what was happening is I was resisting and reacting to my natural way of being a healer. Now, 2 weeks on of not resisting and reacting anymore, being really conscious with it and having those moments where when I'm in the shower and I put chakra rays on my feet so that everywhere I walk, I'm putting Reiki energy. Whenever I'm cleaning a window or a glass, like a mirror or anything like that, I put the chakra ray. Cleaning a shower, I put the chakra rays in the shower so that people will be having lovely Reiki energy whenever they look at themselves, whenever they are looking after their body. And I'm really loving being able to put that throughout people's homes, whether they believe in it or not. Energetically, they'll be receiving at least a little wee bit. And ever since I started doing that, I've found my weeks to be so much easier. So much easier. And it's like I'm no longer resisting and reacting, being energetically aware of my cleaning clients before I get to them. I'm like, oh, that's where they're at right now. Okay, cool. You know, and I'll adjust accordingly, which is what I was talking about earlier. So interesting. Melinda, I'm going to come back to your reading in just a moment. There's somebody over on YouTube who has asked this question, and I'd like to address it. So it says, hello, am I destined to suffer this mental distress for life with no relief? Just need some perspective. Grateful for your help. Okay. So Zach, we create our own reality. It is one of the hardest concepts to wrap your head around, right? It's a lot easier to project onto other people, to blame other people, to try and make something outside of ourselves be the source for happiness. I've come from almost my whole life until a few months ago being in survival mode. I was, throughout my life, I've been various forms of highly controlling. I have come to a point in my life now where I'm not nearly as pedantic and OCD about things, which is all about control. The biggest shift for me was realizing that my points of views and my belief systems that I had picked up from everything around me, society, what I'd created for myself, and that sort of thing, had made it so hard for me to be peaceful and calm. And so I had to release those points of views and those belief systems so that I could actually find the peace and calm within me. And once I started doing that, it became so much easier to not be in people-pleasing mode, to create boundaries for myself, to not be used and abused out in the country or whatever in my life. And this has been work that's been going on for a very long time. I'm not going to pussyfoot around that one. This specific energy healing journey has been at least 10 years long to get to where I am today. Now, the beautiful thing is that the people who are coming in today at a point where I was at 10 years ago are able to move forward so much faster and more dynamically because the access to information, access to healers, access to like so much more is out there now. There's a lot more. There's a lot more holistic counseling practices out there that just weren't available 10 years ago, right? Hi, Jasmine. Thank you, darling. I will do your reading just in a moment. I've got one other reading to do first. So I just wish to say to you, Zach, I would highly recommend, if you're into any sort of tool at all, there's a thin book and it's called Polyvagal Theory. And polyvagal theory will really help you to understand your emotional state. And there's some fabulous tools and tips in that book. It's by Deb Dana. Okay, so polyvagal theory will really help set you on a path of self-discovery. It's done in an amazing way. Yes, you can get it on Audible if you're an Audible type person, but I highly recommend you get the book. It's only really thin, doesn't take long. I think even on Audible, it's just under a 3-hour listen. So it's not long, but the tools, the exercises in there will help wonderfully for a self-managed healing process to begin. Okay. The other thing I would recommend is get see if you can find a healer or a counselor. I also do this kind of work, so it's helpful. But a healer or a counselor that specializes in not only polyvagal theory, but trauma bonding is another area of that's co-related to that. And between those two things, doing some energy healing in there, a bit of, like, from my perspective, I'd be looking at doing a bit of theta healing. I'd be doing, and even online, there's a lot you can do online. So I hope that helps you, Zach. And please know that even if you're feeling the worst of the worst, and I know I have been there have been times where I've felt like I just wanted to, take myself out of the game permanently. I'm so glad I didn't. And I also know that it was my internal mental state that was creating that. Okay. So I just wish to say, if I can do it, if I can go from being at the lowest of the low and come to a point where I am today, you can too. All right, there's loads and loads of really lovely processes out there on my YouTube channel. There's a few, there's on one of my other podcast playlists, you'll see meditations there that have come through from this show. Please have a listen to them. See which ones spark your interest and have a listen. They'll shift a lot of energy for you as well. Okay, so highly recommend. Just, there's so many things I could say, but there we go. So I have to learn to release and limit my energy to stress. Great. I will save your advice for reference. So grateful. You're very, very welcome. Deb Dana, Debdana, Deb Dana. So yeah, so polyvagal, and it's the one that's about something securing into safety, I think is the name of the book there. But yeah, if you look up Deb Dana, so polyvagal practices, and it is anchoring the self in safety. But yeah, you look up Deb Dana, and you'll see her book in there, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There are a few different people that have written about polyvagal theory, but yeah, Deb Dana or Deborah Dana is the way to go. All right, so there we go. You're welcome, Zach. Okay, back up to Melinda. Okay. And this is why I have, actually, I will share that. That's a really good idea. Oh, I don't even need to do it that way. Huh. I just realized I have it right here. Because I'm smart. You guys are so cute. I love it. Okay, there you go. So there's the, that's okay, Jasmine. Don't bother about posting your question in PayPal. Just saying. All right. You'll be able to post it up here once I get to you. Whee! And yes, Jasmine, you're more than welcome to pop your question up in the chat now. I can save it. So that's all good. Okay, cool. Melinda, we have Earth Angel cards. What a surprise. So for those of you curious as to which deck this is one I've had for a very, very long time. It is the Doreen Virtue Angel Therapy deck. Oracle cards. So it says you're a light worker who has come to Earth to teach about love. And given that you do light language and stuff like that, this does not surprise me at all. Particularly with where you're at now. It's not a mistake that you're working in the industry or the area that you are. Okay. And I say that because what you're doing with the work that you have and the people you're around, which are not necessarily overly woo-woo people, right? However, they are people who unintentionally or intentionally are actually quite grounded in that they work and play on the land. So what if in your work you're to bring them some extra healing and teachings about love in through your vibration? Not necessarily your spoken word, but your vibration. So what I'm getting with this one is that for the next week, have a little play with bringing up Mother Earth, the unconditional love of Mother Earth, and the gratitude and the gratitude for everything and everyone of Father Sky. Play with that before you step into each shift this week. And allow your vibration to be that of unconditional love for this week. Just this week. And see what happens to the people around you. See if those moments which might be a little bit more tense between staff members, with co-workers, or maybe you notice somebody getting a little bit agitated because maybe they're not getting their way, like without involving yourself in the conversation, try radiating out more love and see what happens. Play with that energy. You might even do some of your light language behind the scenes as you're stocking a shelf or something. The next card that we've got for you, Melinda, is release. Work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. So I'm actually going to read this one and the next one together because the next one is cut your cords. All right. So you've got a little bit more clearing out to do energetically. And this is the sense that I get with this one for you is around releasing points of views and belief systems that are no longer serving you. So a little bit like I was being a little bit arrogant and going, I'm not going to be an energy healer Monday through Thursday. I'm only going to be an energy healer Friday through Sunday. What if that's just an interesting belief that you can release and cut the cords on? It's a very old way of thinking, a very old way of being, that we have to compartmentalize our life. No, we don't. It's all meant to flow in together, all of it. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome. So it's a way of contributing backwards and forwards. So if you're not resisting to being the earth angel that you truly are in your work life, you'll help release these things, these points of views that are holding you back from being all of you. As I said to you the other day, does like the Dalai Lama stop being the Dalai Lama because he's eating a meal? No. Did Mother Teresa stop being Mother Teresa because she was having a bath? No. Or because, like they just are. Even when they're doing normal stuff, it's like, just be you all the time. Tweak it here and there. Make it more subtle sometimes, but never stop. I think that's the greatest thing that we've learned recently is just be all of you, no matter what. Okay? So yes, have fun with that. Woo, joyous is your card. Your yummy card is joyous. Love it, love it, love it. Enjoy being joyous this week. Alrighty. Thank you so much, so very, very much, Melinda, for being here. Thank you for everything you bring to me. Thank you for just your continued support over here on Find You Fridays. And I love you, my dear. All right, now let me write down these before I get too much further so that I don't lose track. Okay. So we got Jasmine. Okay. And then Tamara. And then Lisa. Cool. Thank you to all of you. And Sonia, if I didn't say hello before, hi, Jolene. Lovely to see you here. Isn't it crazy? Like, we met up at the Mount Barker Psychic Fair, and you're still here following me. I love that. And I love that I can remember I bought a beautiful pair of earrings, a butterfly earrings that I did indeed wear to my half sister's wedding, which is coming up soon, as in 1 year anniversary is very soon. I think it's this week, is her 1 year anniversary. So yay! And did you know, Sonia, that when I went and had my nails done, I actually had them to match my earrings. I love that you've had that deck as well. All right, Jasmine, let's have a look. Oh, we gotta love reading, people. Ready? I have a friend named Nick, and I like him more than a friend. I have not told him I'm going with the flow. Does Nick like me too more than a friend? Will our friendship turn into a romantic relationship? What an interesting question. I think for this one, we're going to bring out the runes, because the runes are really, really good for these kinds of situations. I should know. I've used them many times since I created my set anyway. The only trouble is they're bigger than my hands sometimes. Okay. So, runes, can you please tell us, what does Jasmine require to know about a potential romantic relationship with Nick? Okay, just give me a little moment. We'll get them all. Okie dokie. Oh, sorry, that was a bit loud. Guys. Okie dokie. Let's see what you got. The funny thing is, I've been reading quite a bit of runes lately, just even personally, just doing them for myself. And I don't do a lot of card readings for myself these days. I do occasionally, but I've been playing a lot of card readings with another friend of mine. And because I've been reading the runes, and the runes you read from right to left as opposed to left to right, which is what you do your cards, I've been doing lots of rune readings, and then all of a sudden I was having to switch my brain to card readings, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, I can't even remember how to do that for a second. I started reading things backwards. Super fun. All right, so let's have a look here. So your first rune, this is to do with like your current/past, and this one here is talking about brute strength. So strength, vitality, good health, power, healing. So your current issue is that you have a lot of healing to do, darling. And there is a lot of push, pull, force that is happening in your world right now. And with that is creating within you a bit of anxiousness, a bit of anxiety. Okay, so how does that relate to you and Nick potentially being in a romantic relationship? Until you can kind of get that healing side of it sorted, you're going to find it difficult to have that loving, beautiful, big romantic relationship with Nick. Okay, so that's the first card. That's the first one. The next one, and again, I'm going to say this. When it comes to the runes, this is the possible pathway at this 10 seconds. You can change anything that comes out in this reading. You can change anything that comes out in a card reading. All right? By making a different choice, that's what you'll get. Okay, you'll get a different path. So like I said, that first one was talking about healing and your own healing, like coming back to you, coming back to your place of your heart, and dealing with some of your anxiousness side. I don't know if you know about this book here, which is called Attached. Okay. Attached is all about attachment theory. Attachment theory is really, really helpful when you're getting into the world of not understanding why you do things the way you do them, why you end up with similar kinds of people. It helps you to understand how your brain is working and why certain stuff comes up for you. All right. So things like, as one of my friends and I have been talking about a bit lately, is like that crazy, being a crazy maker of your own world as well as someone else's, where you get really attached and like needy and hypersensitive to every word, every thought, every sentence, whether they reply to you, whether they don't reply to you, every look, every breath. It's like, right? So that's a very anxious attachment style. Okay, there are more than three. This one only talks about the main three, but there are more than three. But even getting your head and handle around this book will really help. Again, you can find it on Audible. No, I'm not affiliated. No, I don't get any kickbacks from bringing these books and things to your awareness. It's just this is stuff that I've worked with that I know really helped me. Okay. So there's that. Shapers. Okay. The next one for you is this one here, which is Hoglaws. And it is about hail, storm, disruption, wild power, change, disruptive weather, storms, wrath of nature, and uncontrolled forces. So this is opposing forces or issues. Okay, so that's the energy of this particular rune, is all those things. So basically, the opposing force here is it's going to create a massive disruption in your friendship if you choose to sort of tackle this right now, because you're still in this anxious space. So remember the first rune, okay, where it's talking about your internal anxious element and your healing and all of that sort of stuff. If you go to him now, it's not going to be a great combo, because it's just going to create a hell of a lot of disruption within your friendship. And I get the sense that you value his friendship quite a lot. And so it's time for you to work on you, because it's like until you can do that, then it's this, if you're looking to him to create peace through this, it's possibly not going to work too terribly well. Let's have a look at the next one, which is the action likely if you stay on your current path. All right. So the current path being, if you do your healing work, you take your time, you do your healing work, you tackle those things about you, about your internal space that is creating a lot of disruption, right? If you do those things, this is the next part. Okay, so we've got ours, which is around balance, stability, harmony, teamwork, trust, and loyalty. All right, your relationship with Nick is a very loyal one. Your friendship with him is loyal, you trust each other, and that's a beautiful thing. It does create a lot of stability with you both at the moment. Okay, so if you keep working through that, your friendship is going to get stronger and stronger, regardless of whether it goes into a romantic relationship or not. Right? So it's funny because it's almost like I can hear you going, yeah, but what if I miss out on actually snaffling him because he's so awesome? What is meant for you will always be there for you. Okay? So that's that one. The fourth rune is about the sacrifice required for you to be in this relationship. All right. The resource is what we have here, which is about Thorn Giant, will, resistance, luck for protection, Thor, the god of thunder, defense, breaking down of boundaries and force. Okay, so this is, you're going to have to let go. You're going to have to let go of forcing a romantic relationship with him. And so that's the sacrifice. You're just going to have to let it go for a little bit while you do this other work, because there's other things that are more important for you right now, and your interaction with him that is going to create a much greater outcome. All right. So it's not that it's saying no, that it couldn't never happen. It's, this rune reading is basically saying, honey, you just got to take some time, do the healing, get in touch with your belief systems, get in touch with your ways of handling emotional stuff and situations and stuff like that, your old hurts and traumas, and do some healing around that, so that if you do get to be with this guy in a more romantic sense, you'll have a really solid foundation of friendship anyway. And I can tell you from the number of people I have asked, couples who have been together for 40, 50, 60 years, because I get to see them quite often in my work, the most common theme, especially with the couples who are happy in their life now, the common theme is that they started out as friends. They started out with common interests, at least one common interest. And for one of them, it was, the common interest was he helped her with her chemistry homework back in high school. That was their common interest. And then over the years, they have grown and exchanged interests as well, and, you know, created an interest in each other's interests as they've gone along. So just know that friendship is actually a really solid foundation for a potential romantic, intimate relationship later on. All right. So, outcome possible. If you do all this background work, if you focus on you do your healing, you get rid of all of that shock, trauma, and heartache out of your system, if not all of it, most of it, come back to that place of peace and safety within yourself. Use stuff like I was talking about before with the polyvagal theory. Work on the attached book. You know, go into a big deep dive of self-exploration and come to a place where you are feeling really solid within you, so that you're not outsourcing your peace. You've got to be peaceful within yourself first. Okay. If you do that, we get this rune here, which is about Birch Goddess, and it's growth, new beginnings, renewal, birth and rebirth, spring, and fertility. So that's a really, really positive outcome. All right, new beginnings and renewal. And so I see that as a nice dynamic shift in the relationship. So it's absolutely possible for you. Okay. But I do say but. This here is not going to be possible unless you take responsibility for your own health and your internal, mental, emotional health and well-being first. Okay? All right. That was cool. What a great reading. Love it. Let's have a look at a yummy card. Hi, Durala. I've actually got a few paid readings to do. So, yes, taking questions, but I've got preferences always given to people who donate first. Okay, lovely to have you with us. Good morning. In your corner of the world. For my corner of the world, it's a little different. It's 9:21 p.m. For you, lovely Miss Jasmine, we've got dream. Okay, so don't give up your dreams. What would you like your life to feel like? Okay. Have a look at that concept. Look at it in a way that is like, actually, that's what I'd like my life to look like and feel like. And if you struggle with visualizations or anything like that, this is where doing vision boards and things like that are really useful. I don't have trouble with visualizing and feeling my feels of what I would like my life to feel like. So I don't personally find it necessary to do vision boards, but I know loads of people that absolutely love them. I do really well with a written list. So yes, don't give up your dreams, okay? Be you, be all of you. Be bold, be brave, be you. That's been my tagline for a really, 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 really long time. And it is a wonderful time right now that you are now taking responsibility for your own emotional intelligence. Okay. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you for your very kind donation. I'm so grateful for you and thank you for being here. Good luck. Please note that those books that I've been talking about tonight are all books that I have used. The Polyvagal Theory, the Polyvagal Practices by Deb Dana, the Attached book. There's a few others that I touch on from time to time, but those two would be really useful for you right now. Okay? Thank you. Mwah. Alrighty. We've got Tamara, my dear. Can you please pop your question up in the chat? That would be amazing. Hi, Christine. You're on a different handle today. Am I just seeing everybody's handle slightly differently? It's nice to see you all over in YouTube land. Fabulous. Of course, I stream onto YouTube and Facebook only at this stage. I don't feel the need to branch out too much further. Okay, who wants just to come and play with Tamara today? Oh, Tamara. I'll give you 2 guesses as to which card deck has come out. Okay, what would Tamara's team like to communicate with her this week? Darling, which bit were you thinking about? As I was saying to my friend today, when you've been in survival mode, and for me it has been my entire life, because when my mum found out that she was pregnant with me, she was angry and disappointed in herself, and she was resentful, and that's how I can say I've been in survival mode my entire life. Emotionally, I have been in survival mode. Physically, my mum did everything that she's meant to do. She fed me, she clothed me, she, made sure that physically I was fine. But that emotional connection, the emotional care was just not there. And my dad, he wasn't particularly great at that either. They were both very young parents. Mum had me when she was 19, or turned 19 the next day, and my dad had me in, he was 21. So they were still young ones themselves. They didn't really comprehend emotional intelligence. It's also their generation as well. Not great at emotional intelligence. And some of them were, but my parents in particular were not. So right from the get-go, emotionally, I've been in survival mode. And that then affected my physical way of being and how I grew up and how I interacted with people and all of that sort of stuff. So to now not be in that, I didn't actually realize just how much in survival mode I was until I was no longer in it. It's like I always knew that there was that little part of me that was like, I don't know how many times I asked this over my years, surely this isn't it. Surely this isn't my life. Surely there's got to be more to this life than this. Particularly when I was in, very toxic relationships throughout my adult years. It's been a lot of that. It's like, what the hell? What's going on here, And even the fact that I was in so many toxic relationships was a direct reflection of the fact that I was in survival mode. So I was putting out those vibrations of survival mode, which was then bringing people into my world, into my intimate space, not my friendships. My friendships were very solid, but into my intimate space that reflected and solidified further or reinforced further the element of me being in survival mode. So, of course, I couldn't get out of survival mode until I was single, until I had nobody interfering in that space, put the focus on me and brought all of that love that I was pushing out or flowing out to everybody else all the time, until I brought all of that back here and looked after me. And then I was like, oh, okay. And of course I did a lot of work. You guys know I did a lot of theta healing and a lot of belief systems work and all of that sort of stuff too. Did some past life regression work. I did, and all of that was self-based stuff, right? This is stuff that I can do with my clients. It's stuff that I do with myself. And I just wish to bring that to your attention, that sometimes you don't know how much your tension, how much stress you're holding until it's gone, because it becomes your normal. It's like, okay, I'm at this level of stress. I know how to handle that. I know what to do with that. That's just where I'm at right now. And it's not until your stress level drops that you go, oh, I can now see how that was impacting my health and well-being, my mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health and well-being. So just wish to bring that to people's attention too. Okay. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't strive to find the peace within. Definitely do. I just flipped your cards tomorrow. Alrighty. Did you guess which one you got? Heal Yourself Oracle by Anna Segal. You just love this deck, but in saying that, we haven't actually played for it for a little while, which is kind of fun. All right. So the first card that you've got for this week is healing. Illness and pain in your body is a message for you to slow down, look within, and make important changes. If you're experiencing stress, feel overwhelmed, are suffering ailments in your body, or feel exhausted and depressed, it means that your body is trying to communicate with you. Your body wishes you to start treating it in a more loving manner and listening to the messages it is sending you. You're required to become conscious of the areas in your life that you are avoiding or suppressing. Healing takes time. It is a process. Your first step toward healing is to create a life loving, supportive, safe, loving, supportive environment where you can listen to your inner wisdom. I love it. Yeah, my guides have been gentle with me for a little while there. Yeah, not anymore. But in saying that, they are. They're saying, hey, listen to the whispers of your body. Something else that came out in the reading today with the Sophia Code was the acknowledgement that, I don't know if I can find it easily. Here it is. Let me see if I can find it, because I get that it's relevant right in this moment. I kind of have a vision of where it was on the page. So let me see if I can find it. Basically, it was an acknowledgement of, because it made me stop. It truly made me stop. And I get that's part of, I should have put a little post-it note on it, because it was like, whoa, you know. Was talking about how in comprehending that you are a divine being that is created and have this incredible awareness of everything, all the dimensions, all of your lifetimes within the very electron of your body. There it is. Found it. Okay. So this is about what I was going to say. It is safe to be curious about who you really are. Discovering that your body is actually a hologram of perception held in place by electrons does not devalue its worth. Rather, this discovery returns you to the elegant equation of your own divinity manifesting your many bodies through electrons. Your human form is a manifested miracle that is worthy of your highest respect. Exploring the holiest of holies communion available to you within every electron of your body sets your consciousness free from the limitations of form. I'll just read that sentence again. Your human form is a manifested miracle that is worthy of your highest respect. And the reason why that just made me go, whoa, today was thinking about and becoming really instantly aware of all the moments where I have not respected my body through the food or drink that I've consumed, through situations that I've put her in, through like just not acknowledging or being respectful of when she has an awareness about something, even to the point of like her going, hey, don't drive down that street, it's not safe, or something even more simple of, hey, if you want to go to that place quicker, then don't drive down that part, don't take that Google Map route, take the different route. But more so, it's that interpersonal stuff and how, like the food, how I've consumed food over the years, how I have previously had alcohol in my system or drugs in my system, not drugs, but like medication. Because I was so not respecting my body, I was in survival mode, I was detached or dulled away from my own awareness. As like, what if you showed up as your own divine miracle? What if that's your focus too this week? There's a reason why it's coming out here. It's about respecting you and honoring you. Okay. Next. Tell ya, that book, bloody amazing. And like I said, it's landing so different now. Alrighty. We've got Phoenix Rising. Everything in your life is falling apart in order for you to rise from the ashes with renewed strength. This is not a time to create, but a time to sweep away everything that has not worked in your life. The reason so many things are breaking down and not going your way is because the old cycle of your life is completing. You may feel that you are walking through the fires of life right now in order to be cleansed and purified for your rebirth. Soon you will not recognize yourself. You are reclaiming your spirit. If possible, try to isolate yourself from the chaos surrounding you. Now is the time for you to feel any pain that you have previously suppressed so that you can heal. The universe has plans and opportunities that are better than you can imagine, so let go, trust, and anticipate what is coming. So with this card, I'm seeing for you, I know that you're a busy lady, come back to the 90-second technique. Okay, so in those moments where you feel like everything's just going and you can feel your body and you can feel your emotions and everything just seems so big and overwhelming and like take that 90 seconds, put your hand on your heart, and if you want to, put one hand on your belly and just breathe. However you're breathing, it doesn't matter how you're breathing. Close your eyes and just let your body feel the feels. For a count of 90. Let it do its thing. Because as you do that, it'll help to process through this old stuff. Because quite often what happens is when we are releasing, and I know that you're doing a lot of healing, releasing work anyway, as you're releasing, you'll go through the waves to come back to a more simple, lower, like midpoint of energy. But as you're releasing, you'll go through the high, the low, the not so high, the not so low. And the 90 seconds can really help with that. So honor those emotions as they roll up. Take the time. Be with them. And, you can actually do that when you're driving. It's not as easy, but you can. If your kids are pissing you off and you're finding yourself getting really rolled up and you can't find that place of calmness and peace within you so that you can just respond rather than react, come back to that 90 seconds, take a breath. Take a moment, more so than take a breath. Take a 90-second moment. Go to the toilet or whatever. Ideally, get outside, sit on the ground. Okay? There's a lot of things that are falling away from us at the moment because that's part of the requirement of being in 4D as we move into the 5D. Those old things that have held us back, they are no longer required. Love is a beautiful thing. Let go of your limiting beliefs about love. Your heart desires more connections, love, and nourishment. You are at a point in your life where you require to learn how to truly give and receive love. Fully opening your heart will awaken your vulnerability, sensitivity, and fear, in particular, your fear of rejection and intimacy with another person. However, you will also unleash your passion, inspiration, greatness, and ability to care deeply. Start seeing how great life is and be willing to connect to others. If you've been holding on to past pain, then there is time to acknowledge, feel, and move forward. Give yourself permission to let people in. Ask for love with all your heart and soul, and it will come. Look for something beautiful in every person you encounter. Focus on feeling good whenever you see people loving each other and knowing this is coming for you in a form of love of a lifetime or an incredible friendship. Well, that's just lovely. And as I was reading this, the sense I was getting from this one for you, darling, is allowing yourself to be loved by your friends and stuff like that. When I was learning to receive love, this is going back, probably 9 years ago now, at craft class, we created this advent calendar. And it was made of little boxes, and we decorated the fronts of the boxes, and I made my advent calendar into the shape of a Christmas tree. And what I did that year was, because I was going to be having a Christmas by myself, my very first Christmas by myself. I had no partner. I was 100% single. I was doing my loving things of me. I ended up getting my yummy foods, and some people had given me, I was working in disability at that time, and I had a couple of my clients gave me presents, which I put under the tree. I said, can I not open these now? Can I save them for Christmas Day? Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, of course. So I had a few presents to open, and what I did in the month of December leading up into Christmas is I asked people, I said, look, I'm learning and remembering how to receive. So I would like and humbly ask for you to place on this post, because I put it out on Facebook, to tell me what it is about me that you appreciate, you love, you adore, so that I can write them down and I'll put them in my advent calendar. And what I ended up doing on Christmas Day, I went through the advent calendar day by day, and I read every single one of those comments, those reflections, and I let them seep deeply into my heart. And the cool thing about it was that I was by myself, but I felt so loved by everybody around me, even though they weren't in the room. And that was a huge cracking open for me of being able to receive wonderful, loving comments from others without the pressure of them physically standing in front of me. Because up until that point, I was not good about receiving love or loving comments or whatever. I would sort of try to deflect. I'd kind of like, oh, somebody would say, oh, you look really beautiful today. And I'll go, yeah, but look, I didn't sleep so good, or, oh, yeah, but you should have seen me yesterday. Or, I would just never receive very well from anybody. And now I'm in a totally different place, and it's not a place of arrogance, it's a place of knowing. So when somebody says to me, wow, you are an amazing healer and what you do is quite incredible, I'm like, yeah, I know, and thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate it so much. And it comes from a place of just receiving, open, and reflecting back to them. Because it's like it takes one to know one. Okay? Love. Last card. Letting go. The situation has served its purpose. You are being challenged to change your point of view and recognize that this particular relationship has run its course. And I get it's actually the relationship with your arrogant self. Although you might be afraid to let go, because the ego is like that, the universe has a new opportunity for you, which will allow you to experience the kind of passion and satisfaction you have always dreamed of. Saying goodbye is never easy and can make you feel like you are a failure. You must not allow yourself to be persuaded by other people or your own doubts to keep holding on. Focus on opening your heart to a new opportunity. Leave the baggage of your past mistakes behind you. It's important that during the letting go process, you are gentle with yourself and allow yourself to have time alone. Write, meditate, paint, sing, dance. Do whatever you can to heal and let go of the pain that is holding you back. Recognize that your spirit is beckoning you to grow. There's a really cool action on that one that you might like to play with. So that's on page 63, that action. I don't need to say anything more to that one, but yes, letting go of your ego, the part of you that is holding on to your unbalanced masculine side, that's what's asking to let go so that you can bring your feminine up more and become a balanced feminine, divine feminine woman. Okay, your masculine's always going to be there a little bit, and it's meant to be there a little bit, but that's the other thing that happens for us, particularly females. But then the opposite is true for males who go into people pleasing, or the mediator or the peacemaker, or that whatever it is. For the males, they have a really high feminine. For females, they go into a really high masculine. Okay? So it's time to just calm that little masculine farm. Let your feminine out. Let her come and play. Okay? But yes, the ego will crack a shit. I'm not going to lie. Because it goes, but we've created all these forms and structures to keep us safe. And then your feminine's going, yeah, see? They're there for a reason. I needed that. And the masculine goes, yeah, see? I'm not going to give that up. No, you can't make me. And that's where your higher self, your conscious self has to go, it's okay. Thank you for having that in place that has kept me safe up until now. And now we're going to choose something different because the world around us is different now. We're not in the same situation. We're not in the same place. We're not with the same people anymore. It's okay to let this go. Frequency is the card that jumped out for you. You're resonating in a very different frequency now. So let everything else around you reflect that. Okay? This week we are working on healing the wounded masculine. Yes, 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 yes. Excellent. Let it go. Thank you so much, Tamara, for your very kind donation. I'm so grateful for you. Grateful for your continued support over here on Find You Fridays, and looking forward to seeing where you go over this coming week. Yay! I had to laugh when I saw Ina was coming out, and particularly that deck. I'm like, oh, Tamara, you're deep diving again. We always know when the Heal Yourself deck comes out, she's a bit kick-ass. That was actually a fairly mild one, to be honest. Or maybe I'm just seeing it from a different perspective. Hi, Juanita. Yes, I know. That's what I was just thinking. Uncharacteristically gentle. Alrighty. Lisa, my dear, would you like to put your question in the chat, please? That would be absolutely amazing. I think, yeah, very uncharacteristically gentle. Oh, dear. Oh, so grateful. 90 seconds. Come back to the 90 seconds, my friends. Oh, gosh. I'm so glad I got to read that other part out about honoring you, honoring and respecting your very selves. Like, as I read this today, I was just like, whoa. And I got a bit teary, to be honest, because I was just like, wow, all those moments of not respecting me. Wow. And even not respecting my talents and my gifts, refusing them for such a long time. Hi, Juanita. I've just got Lisa's reading to do, and because she's done a donation, and then we'll move into some poetry stuff. Oh, Lisa, that's an interesting question. I wonder what we're going to play with. Who's missing? Have you fallen down? Oh, you've fallen down. The card deck I require has fallen down. So I'm just going to hide that for a second. And I'm going to show you this one. And we're back. I actually really require to do a new video for that in my new healing space, because it's a bit different these days. Still the same message though. So there's something special in here that wishes to come out for Lisa. Come on. Thank you. Love it. First Lisa, be quiet to know about this work. There's always something coming your way, Lisa. Always. Oh, wow. That was cool. I wish you guys had seen that. All right. So check this out. So you got show me yes, show me no. That was like really quick in the exchange between yes and no. And it was even faster than that when I had it down earlier. And now it's gone back to yes. So that's cool. All right. So truth. Is there some more work coming Lisa's way? Now I had 3 days work this school term lined up and it's fallen through 4 now. Okay. So truth, is there some more work coming Lisa's way this term? Yes. Truth, will it show up this week? That's a very light no. Truth, will the new lot of work show up next week? As in the week starting the 27th of October. Yeah. So there's a chance that it could even start, there's something that could develop towards the end of this week coming, but coming into the week after. You just got an extra week of holidays, love. Aren't you just so lucky? All right. Oh. So for those of you, and Lisa, you haven't been around that long. So back in December, Christmas time, this last Christmas, I ended up going and doing Christmas by myself. I went camping for 3 nights. And I was in this beautiful little valley, and I used this particular card deck of the Shaman's Dream by Alberto Villoldo and Colette Baron Reid. So I used this card deck, and I pulled one card for every month for the year to come. So far, given that we're now in October, it has been spot on every single month. And within the card reading, what I did is, like, I allowed, like I do with you guys, I allowed whatever other information, any other awarenesses to do with that particular card to come through, and I wrote it down. So this particular card deck here, I find to be very potent, and at the same time, it doesn't come out too terribly often, but when it does, I find it quite exciting, right? So we have the vanishing mirror, which is ego sublimation, letting go of self-centeredness and becoming a vessel of possibility. Do you ever wonder if your self-definition has become too rigid, too fixed around what you've come to learn, so that you contract your life into zones of safe versus unsafe? This here is okay, but over there, well, that might be too risky. Judgment, fear, self-righteousness, and overconfidence are only some of the traits that keep you from evolving. We are all products of our conditioning, so remember that this is part of the human experience, yet you are not meant to remain static. Seek only what you expect, even if it appears ambitious, is still seeking, only what you expect, even if it appears ambitious, is still too narrow. You go nowhere when you hesitate to move out of your comfort zone. When you focus too much on yourself this way, you become a servant of the ego. It edges God out, removing the magic of possibility. Imagine looking into a mirror and seeing only what you are now. If you can let your self-definition soften, moving beyond the veil to your potential and magical emptiness that exists where all things are possible. Look again. Who could you be? What would you see reflected if you allowed yourself to be other than how you define yourself now? Nothing less is required of you now. Nothing less is required of you now. In this moment, let go of who you think you are and allow a new you to emerge. You will recognize yourself as what you are, a partner in co-creation in service to the divine. And doesn't it feel good? So the letting go of the rigidity. Again, I'm going to come back to the polyvagal theory. Okay. When we are in survival mode, when we are unbalanced, when we are sitting in as women, sitting in our masculine, the masculine is all about creating form and structure. The feminine is about creating the softness, the receiving, the keeping things ticking along in a really nice, gentle, yummy way. When we don't tap into the softness, the gentleness, the yumminess of who we truly be, and we let our masculine, the form and structure stuff, be dominant, that's where we become neat freaks, OCD, pedantic bitches, you name it. And it's not helpful because the people around us pick up on that. And they will go, oh, that energy's a bit harsh, even if they're not woo-woo. Whereas somebody who is more balanced and more willing to be in that gentle feminine and be that nurturing, be the softness, be also the potency of healing, which, let's face it, the healing aspect of being a woman which is what you do every single bloody month, it can be incredibly intense, even if you're not woo-woo. As if you're having your monthly cycle, you are literally going through a nurturing, releasing, and then healing state every single month. So start tapping into that potency. And I think you'll be quite surprised about how everything else starts to soften and you'll receive more. Have you done very much soul gazing or mirror gazing work? Something to consider. I started working with soul gazing and mirror gazing when I was actually selling makeup, funnily enough. And I had created a space in this house that I was living in where I had my own dressing room, and that felt just so luxurious. And yes, you can do that alongside of normal work as well. So yeah, maybe you are getting your kick up your bum to create your own healing business at home. Doing that soul gazing and looking to your face and just identifying the parts of you without judgment. Look at your forehead and see how amazing it is. Look at your eyebrows and just say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Looking into your eyes and going, wow, look at all the different colors and seeing how they shine or whether they're not shining. Or look at the changes and then telling your eyes how much you love them. Looking at your nose, look at your cheeks and your mouth and your teeth and your jaw. Right? And it can be incredibly intense to do this work. It's a simple tool, but it can be really intense. A lot of people who are, and I mean males and females, who are disassociating or are unbalanced, refuse to look at themselves in the mirror. They'll do it for the barest minimum of things. Like, I know friends of mine who will not look in the mirror really at their face. They'll look in the mirror to do their hair or to shave, but they won't actually look at who they are. And in fact, when I had some friends over here at my place, and opposite my shower, there's this massive mirror. I can't even reach side to side of this mirror. It's so big and it's quite tall. And probably gives you from, boob height up view of yourself. And they're like, oh my God, that would be so uncomfortable for me to have that in my bathroom. And I'm like, why? It's your beautiful body. It's a thing to be celebrated, not to be judged. It's there to be appreciated and loved. And how cool is it that you could do that while standing in the shower and you can look back at yourself and go, oh, look at my lovely body. Hi. And I have had those moments in my life where I really only looked at my hair or just my eyes, put on a bit of eye makeup and then leave, not really. And like, I'd have those days where I go, I don't even know what I look like today. I don't know what my body looks like. If somebody asked me to describe what I'm wearing today, I don't know. So I get it. Come back to that. Do some soul gazing. Do some mirror gazing. Come back to that place of love. of you. It's intimidating, but it's good work. Lots of tools and tips today. I love it. All right. Your yummy gut. How ironic. You got tenderness. Look. Tenderness. Please be more tender with yourself. Be more gentle. Get rid of that harshness and the harshness that you turn on yourself. All that judgment, it's fucking up your flows. Oh, I didn't get told off for using a swear word. I feel like a naughty school kid when I can do that. So yeah, please know that every time that you judge yourself, you are preventing your energies from flowing properly across all of the parts and pieces of you. So if you come back to love, come back to gratitude and appreciation and honoring of you, everything else will start sort of flowing a lot better. Okay? There's a reason why that work fell through, and perhaps it's because it wasn't actually in alignment for you. Just saying. Something better is going to come along. Thank you so much, Lisa, for that very kind donation. I am incredibly grateful to you and for coming to play, for following the little breadcrumbs from Tamara. And I appreciate you both so very much. All right, then. Where are we at? 2 hours. Good. Okay. Your home play. Soul gazing. And if anybody else wants to get out there and do that too, that would be cool. You can report back next week and tell me how you went with soul gazing. I actually have in my house, because it's quite a long building, it sounds a bit weird, but in my dining area, I have this dresser with this big, huge round mirror, and I have this long hallway runner that kind of is going along the floor towards that dresser, and the doorway from the bathroom leads out onto that hallway runner, goes up, and then I go into my bedroom. So I'm walking towards the mirror. And because I live by myself, I am fairly often, nudie Rudy as I'm heading towards my bathroom. Hi, Paul. And I will be walking along and I'll just strutting my stuff as I walk down towards the mirror. So it's a full body view and it's great and I love it. Oh dear. Morning, Lorene. Can you say hello to Liam? He is last time she did not say my name. I said, wow. Air Supply Saturday night, lost in love. And can't wait. Hello. Hi, Liam. I hope you're having a beautiful day, a lovely week. And I'm sure you're all looking forward to Halloween, which is coming up soon. So, hi, Liam. All right, we're just in time to do some gratitude poetry. So we're going to do the expanding out tool first so that you guys can get the so we can get the best, most expansive answer for you today. And yes, I would still like you to come up with a question, okay? And then we can use the poetry book to assist us in answering that question. So this is literally about you using your awareness of this work. Even if you've never touched this book in your life, you are energetically aware of what's in here. This is the whole cool thing about the quantum world. It's so crazy, but it's how it works. So we're tapping in, you are tapping into your awareness of what's true for you. as well as using that awareness as well. Okay, this is very collaborative and I love it, because obviously when we're doing readings, I'm working with your team, and this is more you using you. Okay, so close your eyes, take a big deep breath in and out. Having another big deep breath in, bring Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bring the Father Sky energy all the way down. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. And now as you become aware of your body, expanding out your awareness beyond your body, in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth, expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the building that you're in, out beyond the size of the country, out beyond the size of the planet, out beyond the size of the solar system, expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the galaxies, and now out beyond the size of the universes. Beautiful. Now focusing on your body once more, grab your sense of allowance, remembering that your sense of allowance is your ability to perceive, know, be, and receive thoughts, feelings, and emotions from no point of view. So you're not caught up in the raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, like you're a tight, contracted little pebble coated in bright white light at the bottom of the raging river. No. As you expand out your allowance, you'll become like a floaty, fluffy cloud, just tooting along, and you can see that raging river for exactly what it is. It is just energy. And now you have the ultimate choice as to whether you play with that energy or you float on by and just let it be. You don't have to try and change it. You can just let it be. It's having allowance. So now expanding out your sense of allowance in a big bubble all around you. Expanding out your sense of allowance beyond the size of the building, beyond the size of the country, beyond the size of the planet, beyond the size of the solar system, beyond the size of the galaxies, and beyond the size of the universes, and now beyond the size of your awareness. Take a big deep breath in and out. And now what question do you have that is on your heart right now? Okay. Just give you a little moment to just really grab that question. Just keep your eyes closed. And now what number between and including 1 and 88 will give you the greatest insight to that question? Can you please now put that question in the chat along with your number? Okay. I'm going to read you what mine was. says keep. Keep your gorgeous smile shining and your wonderful eyes bright. Keep your arms ready and your heart open. Keep your mind receptive and your soul peaceful. And this was a birthday poem to me, from me, about me. A gentle reminder to be me and never become hard or bitter no matter what happens. Happy 21st to me. So that weekend, I lost my best friend, that my family paid a surprise visit. I announced my engagement to my first husband, and a letter from my father sent me into shock and off to counselling. And in that week, I also got my push bike stolen. What an interesting week that was. Oh dear. So Paul, let me just catch up with what you've been saying. All right. We have a contest going on it's called Treat Our Trunk. Treat Our Trunk. You decorate your car, our van, for Halloween, and I have a van. First prize is a trip of 5 to Disney World Halloween. Can't wait. Ooh, we are hoping to win. It is at the drive-in theatre tonight. Hope we win. If not, we will have fun. Oh, that is cool. You have a fog chiller going on in the van. So you've got all the misty happening around it. Oh, that is cool. So you get to decorate up your car and you hopefully will win a trip. That is super cool. Super duper cool. All right, Melinda. 33, please. And will I have long-term employment where I am now? Please and thank you. Interesting. Let's see. Reflections. In this screwed up world where people don't think of what will happen if they say something or do something, why can't this generation and the ones to come accept the past, present, and future, the people around them, and not judge? A person is shaped by their experiences. To assess a person without exploring their personality, experiences, and opinions is shallow. The greatest gift in the world to give to another is trust. From trust stems love, respect, and friendships. But how can one gain trust without looking into every crevice, fold, and layer of another person? Many people have learned to be cautious because at some time in their lives that trust was misused. They form a wall around themselves and will keep it there till someone is able to take the time, effort, and kindness to slowly take that wall down. Every person requires a soulmate, somebody to trust implicitly and not be judged in any way. Together, they will be able to branch out and always give encouragement, support, and love to each other. I think, Melinda, like what I was getting as I was reading this, is you have been through the ringer as far as employment goes over the last few years. And there's been a lot of uncertainty in your world. And with that, it has kind of bashed your trust around a bit. And what I'm getting is that due to the level of kindness and caring and honoring of your current managing team, they are building up that confidence within you to go, actually, I think I'd kind of like to stay here. Right? And that caution that has been within your system is slowly starting to ease out. And now that you're, a permanent staff member, that really helps. Going from casual to permanent takes a while to wrap your head round. And it's not about the finances as such. It's more of the security of it. When you've been casual, because like I was casual for 10 years before I became a permanent staff member where I work now. And it took me, gosh, almost a year to really settle into the fact that I actually have annual leave and personal leave, like sick days, and like the level of support and stuff that comes along with being a permanent staff member. Because let's face it, it's actually not very easy to fire people. Once you've become a permanent staff member, it says a lot about who you are. So enjoy that feeling of becoming permanent, and let those old insecurities of the previous workplaces go, that sort of that on edgeness go, because you are loved in the place that you work now. You are appreciated. And if you weren't, they wouldn't have given you the permanent position. Okay? So, will you have long-term employment? I get probably yes. Partly because it's really hard to fire people. Okay. That was a great question. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Paul, that would be interesting to come along to your drive-in movie experience with your, decorated van. It does sound, interesting. But I would, it would be so cool to see photos or whatever of what your van looks like. That's for sure. Especially if you win, that would be awesome. Feel free to email me. My email is in the show notes. That would be really cool. Lisa. Dreams. I can't recall them at all. Why? I think the clue is in the number. Interesting. So, as I said, dreams, and the clue is in the number. What happened to you around 17 years old? What happened to you that had you shutting off from your more intuitive side of yourself, and made you feel maybe not so safe to process in the nighttime, or at least not recall your processing during the nighttime? My dreams, for example, I don't remember all of them. There will be certain ones that I will remember, and it's like, oh, those ones I really have to take note of, because in my waking hours, I'm able to analyze them. So, 17, friends. Let's see what else pops out. They are friends. They are the people with whom you share your deepest thoughts and emotions. For some strange reason, people are drawn together in a bond which can't be seen. As time goes on, this tie can strengthen, but at the same time become even more fragile. These people trust each other, trust what they say as true, and trust what they do as being genuine. Sometimes a friend will do something which they think is for the best, but that can damage the bond between the two friends. This is the true test of our friendship, to see whether true test of friendship, to see whether they can come out on top and be even stronger. So the little blurb that's at the bottom says, still processing through the tangled web of lies from my female friend, as well as my own place in the world of friendship. lost a friend in a car accident. There you go. Darling, that's why. There's a big block of grief preventing you from remembering your dreams. Okay? So, with something that is so intense as losing a friend in a car accident, we handle it in a couple of different ways. Either we really lean in and we process our grief, we honor it, we do the things, but quite often, and I speak from personal experience, we don't. We shove it down, we push it away, we pretend it doesn't exist, we try to have that stiff upper lip, we, try to move forward because it's like we think that's what we're supposed to do. But that incident for you has created such a big block in your ability to recall your dreams, because at that point, your dreams were shattered. Your dreams of all the things that you were going to do with your friend, all the adventures you guys were going to have, boom, gone in an instant. So that's where this is happening. That's where that is core. That's the core of it. So what I would highly recommend for you, Lisa, is to do some regression work around that, so that, and if you are able to, go to a energy healer who does body process type stuff, whether it be somebody who does access consciousness, getting your bars run. There's some other elements that they can add to that, which helps to move the body out of basically what you've got there is PTSD. It's in trifold sequencing systems, which are preventing you from moving forward, right? It's creating blocks. So find somebody in your area that can help you with that. Or otherwise, we can do online work. I'm unsure of what sort of body processing healing work that Tamara does, if you're close to Tamara. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. That's a point in your life where you've got to do some more healing work. And once you open that up, you'll find that everything else will start flowing a lot more easily throughout the rest of your life too. Okay? And in saying that, I am so sorry that you went through that. And that was something that happened. It's awful when we lose a friend. Truly, truly awful. And I love that you know that he's around a lot. That is beautiful. I wonder what other guidance he can give you. Oh, big heart stuff. Thank you for sharing that, Lisa. That was just lovely. Just lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. Alrighty. Just making sure I didn't miss anybody. Paul, I almost forgot to tell you I have telekinesis, power to move things. I give it a try, and I moved the salt on the table like 3 inches away from me. Tried the teacup yesterday, and the same thing. Wow, that's very cool, Paul. Very, very cool. Well done. We all have interesting powers we're just not tapping into yet, and it's good to see that you are. I wonder what other amazing magical things you can do with telekinesis. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. All right, little drink of water. tuning in, seeing where the meditation would like to go for today. How did I know? All right. We're going to do some throat chakra stuff today. Using the lovely inspiration of Hathor, she of 1,000 voices. Have a lovely weekend, Paul. Good luck with the competition and getting your van all decorated up and stuff. That sounds very, very, very fun. You Americans, you do love your Halloween. It's not so big here, but it's trying. There's people here who definitely decorate up stuff. So, all right. Take a big deep breath in, my friends, and close your eyes. And breathing out. We're going to go up to theta for this one. So imagine a big, beautiful, bright white light shining into your heart, going down your body, down through your legs, through your feet, down to the center of Mother Earth, curling around the center of Mother Earth and moving all the way back up. All the crystalline layers, gathering any other energies that we require. All the way up through your feet, that beautiful bright white opalescent light moving up through your legs, through your pelvis, through your belly and your back, through your throat, all the way through your crown, creating a big bubble above your head. Imagine you inside that bubble, moving up higher and higher through the golden light, through the rainbow jelly light clouds, through the pink misty clouds, all the way through the big, big opening that has bright white opalescent light shining through. Move through that opening until you're completely surrounded by the bright white opalescent light. It might feel like you're standing underneath the sun, and the sun's warm rays of unconditional love are shining down all over you. Take a big deep breath in. And breathing out. And as you breathe out, the bubble around you will dissolve. Breathing in, again, nice big deep breath in, bringing that unconditional love all the way through your body. From the top of your head to the tips of your toes and your fingers. And as you breathe out, any energies that are ready to go now will leave. Go up to Creator to be cleansed and cleared and never to return to you again. Now I'd like you to place 1 or 2 fingers in the little dip at the bottom of your neck, just above your collarbone. And as you place your fingers there, I'd like you to hum, whether that's an om sound or whatever humming kind of tone comes to your mind. But as you hum the om, the the ah, whatever works for you, feel the vibration of that through your fingertips. Feel the magic of that vibration. Feel it as it penetrates through the cells of your fingers, and vibrates all the way down through your hands, through your arms. Perceive the vibration as it moves down through your body, through your heart. Try different tones. See which ones feel better for you, which feel more heart opening, which feel more throat opening. Ooh. You can try all sorts of different ones. See what works. Try different pitches. So you can go low, go ha, ooh, he. What works for you? And as you're doing this, as you're paying attention to this area of your body, notice that your throat chakra is starting to shift. It's vibrating in a way that you can consciously recognize. Oh, ha, he, hoo, hoo. Oh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Ha, ho. Oh, he, ho, ha, 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 ho. As the sound vibrates through you, as the sound from my voice vibrates through you, just notice your chakra, your throat chakra, changing from not only being a royal blue color to all the colors of blue, all the shades of blue. Each tone produces a different shade of blue for you. Ha, oh he ha, oh he ha, oh. He ho he ha ho hum ha ho ha ho ya. Now I'd like you to think and say, I love you. I love you. I adore you. I appreciate you. I am grateful for you. Feel the vibration of your words moving along your fingers, moving down through your body. Feel it as it moves up through your neck, through your throat, through your mouth, into your mind, through your subconscious and conscious mind, reminding you that every cell and molecule of your body, right down to the electrons, were formed from that place of unconditional love, of absolute infinite possibilities. I love you. I love you. I love you. Start to feel all of the pain, the shock, and the trauma from all the times where you've ever felt like you couldn't love yourself, just vibrating away, leaving your shoulders, leaving your heart, leaving your arms, leaving your face, making you feel like smiling again because you are loved. You are loved by Creator, by the universe, by Sophia. You are loved from yourself. You are loved by your friends and those you hold nearest and dearest to your heart. You are loved infinitely by your spirit team. Moving your hand now to your heart. Taking a big deep breath in and out. Feel your heart beating. Feel the openness and expansiveness. Even if it feels uncomfortable right now, that's totally okay. Feel it, enjoy it, love being loved by you. And now send out that love in a big ripple all across the planet, across every person that is doing this meditation right now. And when you feel the vibrations and the love coming back through to you from the others that are listening to this meditation right now, receive it. Enjoy it. Smile. For again, you are being shown that you are loved. You are loved, you are loved, you are loved, and you are love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Take a big deep breath in and out. Do an energy break. Now imagine that there is bright white opalescent light just showering all over you. Soothing, calming any little stresses and strains or big stresses that are in your world right now. It's just letting you feel supported and loved and calm. Helping to remind you that ventral vagal is the place where you are supposed to be. That your sympathetic system and your dorsal system were never meant to be yours full time. And it is done. It is done. It is done. Let's move down through the pink misty clouds and through the rainbow jelly light clouds, all the way back through to your body, where you can feel your throat opening, where you can feel the clarity of your spoken word, where you can be impeccable with your spoken word, where you can be authentic and honoring with your spoken word now. Not only to others, but also to yourself. And with that, it comes with a great gift and a deep respect of all that you be. Imagine now that you're standing underneath the big, beautiful crystalline waterfall, and the water is flowing over and through your body, washing away any other little fragments of energies that are ready to let go. Anything that is preventing you from speaking and honoring who you truly are. And now stepping out onto the big warm river rock where you feel Mother Earth underneath your feet. Take a big breath in and breathing out. Taking another big breath in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Taking Father Sky and bring that all the way down. This is to remind you to balance out your masculine and your feminine energies within. Bring Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And now Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. When you're ready, open your eyes. Have a glass of water, or at least a little drink of water. Have a little bit of salt in your water if you feel. You'll be surprised at how much just a little pinch of salt on your tongue can help settle your brain after you do energetic work. It's amazing because the body uses salt and water when it does energetic work, when we're using our brain and all that. That's why when we're studying, we'll quite often get the munchies and we'll want salty stuff because that's what our brain uses. Isn't a body an amazing thing? I hope you enjoyed that meditation. I encourage you to get out there and do something tasty for yourself over this next week. If you're doing any planting, you can start doing that in your gardens after Tuesday. As a little reminder. You're so welcome, Melinda. I'm really glad that you were here for that one. It's nice. It was a nice little one. I am going to be going to the boho markets, Lux markets in Adelaide tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Lots of cool, yummy stuff happening over there at the boho Lux markets at Plant 4 Bowden. So if you're in Adelaide, you can certainly check that out. Let me just jump down to the. So it's on Saturday and Sunday at the Plant 4 Bowden. And they start at 9 a.m. with different sessions. They also have the actual market, but they've got another, they've got a separate section under the TP. That's what it was. And it has sound healings and breathwork sessions and cacao ceremonies all weekend, starting at 9 a.m. with yoga. And then they have 10 a.m. Sound with Henry. They've got Xanthi Play, Jake Cook on Saturday with the cacao ceremony, and Kirsty on Sunday. Christy, not Kirsty. Breathwork with Vicky on 12 p.m. 1 p.m. was sound healing with Fontella. At 2 p.m. there's a 2-heart sharing circle with Ariane Marsak. And I know that there's also sound healing, which is not showing on there, interestingly, with Joe from Breathe, Stretch, Float from Boho Buddha. She's in there as well. I think they must be sharing that spot at 1 p.m. So yeah, cool times. So I'm off to go to the Saturday one. Oh, cool, Lisa. I loved that you enjoyed that. Yeah. I'm looking forward to just having some time to just chill out. I've got a friend taking me, so yay. It'd be great. Anyway, get out there, do something tasty for yourself, ground, get into nature if you can, have some time, do nice, nourishing, nurturing things for yourself, keep that balance going, and until next time, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.